The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farron, a.k.a. WDC. I want to thank you for listening in to our first episode here on Sports Collective TV. Make sure you follow us, Twitter, Instagram, hashtag the Sports Collective TV. On Instagram is Sports Collective Media as well. And, we're just going to give you some information about sports, but not from a player perspective, but from more of a fan perspective. So I'm just blessed to be here and to have this group of cast with me. If you might know us as the Sports Lounge Live before, you can also look us up on that hashtag as well, the Sports Lounge Live. But we've converted over to now Sports Collective TV. And so we're just here to bring you a totally different perspective of sports. And I'm not by myself. I got my partner here across from me, the one and only Daily.
Yeah, Baskin-Robbins is in the house.
Wow.
Yeah, Baskin-Robbins. Shout out to Baskin-Robbins. But, sportsman, man, this is awful.
Why?
This is awful.
Why?
This is so awfully nice.
Awfully nice?
Yes, this is awfully nice.
It's new, man.
Yeah.
New location.
So welcome you folks out there. And like you said, this is our first episode going into the season. And, we want to bring something kind of organic to the table that's relative to sports, pop trends, what's relevant. And then not only that, opportunity to kind of help youth, help other organizations out there that's really doing things in the community and sports. But I'm the Cali Sportsman, live in effect over here at Morris Media Studios.
Give me your social media so they can follow where you at.
Just Google Illya Daily. That's all you got to do. ILLYA Daily, DAILEY. But I still got the old school stuff, so I need to revamp. So Sports Lounge Live, God bless, 2 years, moving on.
Oh, yeah, it was
now
fun.
It's the Sports Collective TV. We got the mobile app going on. We got the Fredo and you guys going out doing the thing with the LABC.
Sports Collective Radio.
Yeah, LABC League. And tonight is a big night, right?
Yeah, tonight the LABC is doing their Final Four. So we going up there tonight after the show and do the play-by-play for their Final Four tonight.
So can we drive with some beer up there? Because,
You could drive. Yeah, you could do whatever you want.
Just don't drink and drive.
I just
right?
don't drink and drive.
Okay,
Be
right.
responsible.
I'll keep it in the trunk.
Thank you.
All right.
So let's. I just want to introduce myself to you as the viewers, so you can kind of get a gist of who I am and why I'm here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and then we're going to bring up part of the Fanatics, and they're going to come up here and sit with us, and then introduce themselves and talk about the perspectives of the Sports Collective TV that they are going to share with you, that you can interact with us. So myself, I'm a retired Sergeant First Class, United States Army, 24-year veteran, and I was a huge sports fan back in the days. And during my transition out of the military into civilian life, I spent 2.5 years in severe depression, lost a lot of interest in a lot of things, and sports was one of them. And so how I stayed connected was I created a sports show called WDC The Movement, and my man Sports Log did that show with me back in 2010. He was the kind of the main guy, but that kind of kept my mind kind of from like losing it. And so just to stay connected to the sports, this is what I get to, kind of get to put myself in. And mentally, this is like my own personal therapy. And so how it connects to me with sports is that I was doing the Army physical fitness test, the 2-mile run. I got done with that and I collapsed. They said it was dehydration, heat stroke. But if you look in the high school, colleges, even professional athletes have died and collapsed from a trait called sickle cell trait. And that's what I experienced. So that was kind of my relationship to athletics. And then by being medical retired, I'm here now as an advocate for sickle cell trait. More so my perspective for the Sports Lounge or Sports Collective TV is going to be that mental toughness because I had to pull my own self out of that depression. And then also just life and educating student athletes and professionals and people about sickle cell trait because it's an inherited gene. And we'll get in more conversation about that. But I'll be here bringing that awareness to the guests, but also putting out information and talking about mental toughness and what that looks like and where we got it from. That's me, man.
It's my turn?
It's your turn now, man.
I mean, it's real easy. Basically, student athlete, started a AAU tournament all over the country. Started in Oakland, L.A., not tournament, but actually just taking inner city kids, helping them develop in basketball, and then finding out that they really actually needed another vehicle was basically getting them to good high schools and then get them to good colleges. And so last 18 years of my life, I've basically been, working with kids in primarily Arizona for the last 9 years. We created a program called the NFL Yet, which basically is now living live today because of us for inner city kids, giving them nutrition, education, as well as the sport itself, which is basketball or any other sports they need at that point. So, of course, we met, and it was kind of this organic situation to kind of put something together. So my piece is really to be able to talk to those student athletes, talk to those organizations, those teen moms, and then also talk about college preparation for the youth that's out there, and working with the Scholamies and the AJs and those guys is just kind of phenomenal because it's all about the youth and the future in sports. So that's it in a nutshell.
For sure. So again, this is Sports Collective TV. We'll be here Mondays at 5 o'clock. Again, social media, Instagram is Sports Collective Media. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IMWDC. I'm one of your hosts here. We're going to take a quick break.
And a call-in number?
Yeah, we got a call-in number too. So if you want to be a part of the show, 323-293-3375. If you have any part of you want to interject, you want to say something to one of us, you're more than welcome to dial in and shout us out. Again, we're going to take a quick break because I got my next two hosts coming up here, and then we'll get into their conversation. So, again, Sports Collective TV. Man, this is great.
So, hold on, just real quick.
Yeah.
So, is it Morris Media?
Live.com.
Yeah. And they can check us out right now.
They can watch us right.
See,
watch us there.
See, that's my, yeah. So, give us a call or go on MorrisMediaLive.com and check us out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll be right back. This is Sports Collective TV.
Hey, I'm Sergeant First Class Farron Illya. I'm here at the military base, and I have the sickle cell trait. Now, why I got involved is I experienced what they call sickle cell trait exertion. And I was doing the Army physical fitness test, the 2-mile run, and when I got done, I collapsed. A lot of soldiers and athletes have been dying at football fields and running track, and the family members have no idea that they have the sickle cell trait gene or that it's a trigger. So my purpose is to mobilize the community so we can find out what's in your genes. How will life be if we could prevent another child from being born with sickle cell trait or disease? And if the child was born with the trait or disease, that the family members would have the education, awareness, and resources in every city that they lived in. So tune into our webinar series and find out what's the count.
What's the count? What's the count? What's the count?
Are you having sickle sex?
Sickle sex?
Yeah, sickle sex. You won't know unless you've been tested.
Really? You can really get sickle cell from having sex?
No, but your baby can. If you carry the sickle cell trait, you could possibly have a baby with the sickle cell disease. Find out more today and get tested. This message brought to you by SCD Soldier Network.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farron, a.k.a. WDC. Again, we want to thank you for tuning in to our new show here, Sports Collective TV. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, hashtag Sports Collective TV, Sports Collective Media, and Sports Collective Radio. So, like I said, I don't do this by myself. I got a crew, a cast of folks who I've met through my life, and they got their own interests in sports. And so I'm going to introduce you to the other cast members here. To my right, we got Big Al. What's up, Big Al?
What's up, Farron? How you doing?
Hey, man,
Good to be
everything's
back,
good.
man.
Everything's good.
At Morris Media Live here. This is an amazing studio.
You like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I built it from scratch.
Yeah.
that's-
Props, man.
Yeah.
Across
I still
from
got nails in my pocket. So.
Oh, really?
across from him is Fredo. Me and Fredo met at the Radio Academy. He was actually my career counselor when I took the radio broadcasting school. And so Fredo from the Fredo Show.
Fredo from the Fredo Show. That is right. Hey, that show's no longer alive.
It's no longer live?
It will be coming soon, hopefully.
It's on hold right now.
We're going to
It's on
revamp
hold.
there.
Yeah. Well, let me just go ahead and do a quick introduction. My name is Fredo Cervantes. First of all, I was, grew up in Pico Rivera. For whoever knows out there where Pico Rivera is at, that's my city. That's where I grew up. I did have a passion for sports ever since I was a kid. There's the reason why I'm here with you today, because I loved sports. And I grew up in Pico Rivera. I love sports. I went to Sports Academy, Radio Academy, where I got a chance to meet Farron there. Did a lot of play-by-play as well as music directing, doing it all there. Got a chance to meet Farron. Now, we are working on so many other stuff, including this young fella here who makes me laugh every single day I see you, man. Seriously, man. You are amazing talent here as well, and Big Al, Farron. And it's just an honor to be here in Morris Media Studios. I mean, this is a really, really nice place for the first time for us to here today. I'm just excited to get started, Farron.
So tell us, what are you going to bring to Sports Collective TV, man?
I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys. You guys already know I'm going to bring you guys nothing but the truth. I give you guys it all on NBA, baseball, football, giving it all as well. Me and Farron are working on Sports Collective Radio. We're doing play-by-play broadcasting for LABC League.
Don't we got the app too?
Yes, we do.
I just wanted to
I was about to get to that.
I was just
Go
telling
download
you.
that, by the way.
You blew the whole moment.
I know.
now.
You just cut him off.
I was about to blow it, but it's all good. It's all good.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and let you guys know. Sports Collective Radio, download the app today. We do have a very, very special platform where we're going to be working throughout the community, as well with high schools, colleges, private leagues, to go ahead and do broadcasting for them, because everyone needs a platform.
Yeah.
A lot of people need a platform to be working on stuff like this, and that's exactly what we're doing here together as a team. When me and Farron came along with this stuff, and everyone else, bringing in their effort to it, and we're going to be working on this, and next thing you know, we never know where we'll be at, but we'll be there something soon. And we do have some stuff cooking up as well.
Definitely. We can't leak that yet.
Yeah, we can't leak it yet, but we do have some stuff coming up. So go ahead and stay tuned. Follow us, of course, on Sports Collective Media as well. Follow me at Fredo Cervantes anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'll give you whatever you want me to give you.
And one of the segments that we're bringing to Sports Collective TV is that all these athletes out here in this LABC league, my thing is that behind the scenes, right? So you have all these these guys that play professional basketball overseas, high school, college. Like Fredo said, they don't have a platform. So we know that you get your main, LeBron James stories and all that through ESPN or whatever you watch. But we're bringing you some behind the scenes, some real live human beings that have families, that are playing basketball, that have created their coaches. I mean, they've done a lot. So we want to. My thing is to bring that behind the scenes. So I'll be bringing you that Player of the Week interview every week from the LABC League. We'll be introducing you to one of those basketball players in those leagues and find out who they are as a person and then how they relate to sports. And like I said, just that whole perspective of another level of sports, man. So I appreciate you.
Go get that app, man.
Because those storylines is phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, because
Beautiful.
there's people out there that, maybe given up in basketball, maybe got injured, or you didn't get to go to that school you wanted to go to. But this league gives them an opportunity to just do your song and dance all over again, because the refs suck, so you actually could just ball.
But they get signed. They actually have been signed to play overseas in Mexico,
And
so it's not.
One of the guys
joke.
who's very, very
Definitely.
impressed me is Duane Davey. Duane Davey is a guy. He's an amazing talent. He actually was in training camp with the Miami Heat this past year, and also got another invitation with the Miami Heat this upcoming season. So right now he's working on his game, preparing himself to get back to the league. And there was a lot more other people as well playing overseas. Great programs, schools as well. So there's a lot of talent in this league, man. It's just amazing. We get to see alley-oops. We get to see dunks right in front of our faces. So it's very, very impressive.
Because when I'm on the app, man, listening to you, the play-by-play is off the chain.
Hey, he's got it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Stew in the making.
Yeah. Hey, Fredo, man, thank you for your introduction.
No
man.
problem, man. I'm here whenever you want me, Fran.
So all the way from Switzerland.
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
Big Al, man. We got out of the country here. Introduce yourself, man.
So my name's Big Al. You can follow me at Big Al on Facebook and Instagram. I just moved out to LA in September. Used to do hip hop radio back home in Switzerland. I hooked up with Farron at LA Talk Live with Richard Carr, R.I.P.
And Marsha.
And Marsha.
All right.
Marsha. Where is Marsha?
And shout out to Marsha for sure.
Resurrection.
But, even though the studio may have closed at LA Talk Live, we're still getting this Sports Collectives TV going here. And we're all super happed up for that. We got the league going. We got the app. And we're really trying to expand this, so I'm excited to be here. And let's roll.
So let them know what perspective are you bringing to Sports Collective TV, man?
Definitely. So back home, it was a little bit hard to follow these sports, but I'd still give my best effort. It was definitely the NBA and the NFL. So those are two sports I know the most. I follow the Rams and the Lakers.
You are. He showed up to the show with
He got
Rams,
socks.
Rams out.
He got socks. He got underwear. He got
lighter,
all one team.
the pen, everything. Yeah, definitely.
Big Al.
So my segment will also be presenting an NBA topic, which is also why I got
what's up with the
these four alarms.
clocks,
Okay, so the segment is called the NBA Alert. ALERT. Get it? Alert.
Alert.
So it's the NBA Alert, and what's going to happen is...
Did you keep the receipt for these?
Anyway, I'm going to bring a story, and you guys are going to ring the bell if you think it's calls for alarm. ALARM.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Get it.
The references and stuff.
Alarm.
All right, so I'm going to just drop a scenario.
All right, let's go. This
If you're
is
the
what's gonna
person,
look like.
you
So
ring
this is
the
what's going
alarm.
to look like in
I feel like-
segments. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Playing Family Feud here.
You're the San Antonio Spurs, right?
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard just announced that he went to New York to get his second doctor's evaluation after they had a players-only meeting, and after Greg Popovich made a subliminal hint towards him having to come back before the playoffs. Yeah, kind of subliminal. I felt that was subliminal. And now he's back in New York. So if you're the San Antonio Spurs, calls for alarm
No, I definitely an alert.
or alert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
What do you think? You think he's going to come back and be a Spur again?
No,
Oh, I think he come back and be a Spur again. I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I just think that the whole talk of him coming back right now is not a need. I mean, you don't bring in a guy of his caliber when he's injured at his level, because he has his own team doctors. He got 3 sets of doctors right now that he's looking at that's separate from the team.
Right.
So that right there kind of tells you that he ain't just on trying to come back right away.
Yes. So
but I
he's
definitely see him as a San Antonio Spurs.
So he's basically not trusting the Spurs doctors and.
Well, I wouldn't
just going
say
by
a
his own.
trust factor, but
Does he get a
got
second
his own
opinion,
people.
third opinion?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, I
Is
get
that
that.
what it
I
is?
get that.
Yeah.
Fredo, what you got? You got some. You look like you got some
I
words
got
on
it.
your
I got
phone.
it. But honestly, I think he is never going to wear a San Antonio Spurs jersey again. He's going to get traded
think
this
that's
offseason. He is.
So calls for alarm, right?
No, it is. He's going to get traded. Thank you. I forgot to do that one. But no, honestly, because Steven Jackson, I don't know if you guys saw with Steven Jackson, a former Spurs, great player in the league. He came out and actually
On
spread
Cowherd, yeah, I saw that,
on
for sure.
Colin
Good
Cowherd. He came out, said some great things that nobody really has heard before about
Absolutely.
how the San Antonio Spurs is run from the inside and out, and Ginobili and Parker doing some great talking this year to them. It's really pushing him out of the way. And
So my
I'm glad
only
you
question
mentioned
with
that.
that is that who is their franchise player then?
That'll be the question.
but their
That's my
franchise player
argument.
will possibly come
You
through
got to
a
sell
trade.
seats and
Through a
T-shirts.
trade.
So who
Through a
is it?
trade.
Well, right now it's Aldridge, but they're going to have to get somebody else. And, Kawhi has that
Ours is
year
just not
remaining
even
on his
enough.
contract.
You don't put enough points up to be
But if
So they would trade
Kawhi
him.
gets traded, they're going to get something in return for that talent.
And they're looking at
Something.
Jaylen Brown and
so they're going to
Tatum
get
in
something
Boston
there.
or
So I mean,
something
they
like
might
that.
get some young talent.
But it's interesting you mentioned the thing that Steven Jackson said on Cowherd, because he said that Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili wouldn't make these moves by themselves, withholding the
Without-
player-only meeting and calling him out and stuff like that. And he said Popovich is the one directing this, kind of pulling the strings and almost pressuring him in a weird way to come back. So this is like really bizarre to see this from the Spurs organization. who
Yeah,
we've known
but
to be
it's fun though.
flawless
It's fun. As a Laker fan,
with
you've
everything.
never seen that happen with San Antonio. With Lakers, we see that all the time. Like we see drama every time
Yeah.
so and so wants to leave. This whole Lonzo thing. This is the first time I brought up Lonzo's name today.
Thank you.
It's going to come on more often, but I mean, I don't see Kawhi being a Spur at the end of this year. I mean, that's going to be
Done
it.
deal.
Done deal.
We'd probably be on a divide on that. So we'll see.
We'll
you want
see.
to put a soda on it? A dollar?
Let's put a
All right.
six pack.
Obviously, he's thirsty.
Come on, let's go. I see him
Obviously, he's
coming
We got a
back.
deal.
There
We
you
got a deal here.
All right, so what else you got for us? Your music background, right? Because I know you did a spot on the other station.
Yeah.
Give us some of that music background, because that's to me that's important as well for our show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, music's always meant a lot to me. I've never played music like I play basketball, but it's always still been a big part of my life. No, I play for real. We still need to get on the court. No, definitely.
And he called himself Big Al. That's like crazy.
No, but
he only like 5'8". You know what I'm saying? He's
like the same height here.
You got to be at least 6 feet.
It's what's in here that counts.
Yeah,
but,
there it is.
Let me get back to it. No, so I used to really get into sampling hip hop songs and going back to the roots from what these tracks were really produced of, and a lot of it turns out to be blues, funk, jazz, all sorts of music directions. Yeah. So that's mainly what I covered on the last show at LA Talk Live.
Yeah, so I can relate to you because I do a show. I do a show called Music Marketplace in Time, and when I saw your show about how you listen to the hip hop track and then you go back and find the original song, it was like wow, like that was cool, man.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't even realize.
Where it came from.
Yeah, you're going to go get some Curtis Mayfield and some.
Hey, they be digging deep for some them
Lynn Collins and stuff like that.
I imagine.
James Brown.
Yeah, cool deal.
Definitely.
All right, so anybody else got something? Fredo, anything you want to put out? Before we take this break?
Before we go, just make sure you tune in 8 o'clock tonight, Sports Collective Radio. We're going to be doing our Final Four. I mean, it's going to be an amazing games out there, so go ahead and tune in. Sports Collective Radio. If not, follow us on Sports Collective Media. All the links, everything will be up there, but I'm just excited.
Yeah. Again, so like you said, Sports Collective Radio, you can go to the internet, download the app on Android right now, or you can just Google Sports Collective Radio. It's on Spreaker.com, and we'll be doing that play-by-play tonight for the Final Four.
I'm just excited, man. We in the house.
How's it feel to be back? We've been off for a minute. So.
Yeah, but we in the house, man. Morris, Portis, we love you. We going to be here to stay.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, so Sports Collective TV, it's not just myself or Illya. It's a cast of us, and we're going to take a quick break, and I got 2 more of our fanatics that are going to come here and share again, their perspective and what they're going to bring to Sports Collective TV. Again, you can follow me, Twitter, Instagram, all the show media on Sports Collective Media on Instagram. We post all the information there, where we're going to be at weekly. And Facebook, we got the Sports Collective TV on Facebook as well, so I'm sure we're going to be posting a lot of information.
So much.
Yeah.
We got everything. Yeah.
But these next 2 dudes,
323,
y'all want to stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
These next 2 dudes, these bunk beds. I call them bunk beds. Bunk beds is up next.
You guys are up next. Let's go.
We go.
Years ago, the WDC and it's me, your man Curtis Blow, from Dr. James to Michael Jordan to Kevin Durant, who leads the whole league in scoring. Wayne Wade down in Miami, making a name. I love this game. To the NBA Hall of Fame, slam dunks, alley-oops, and the give and go. Vince Carter, Superman, and my man Carmelo and Rondo over in Boston with the big 3, captivating audiences across the country and ruling the world like LeBron the King. I say, man, Kobe sure has a lot of rings. I do my thing, not for the bling, playing in the amount. It's the NBA Finals, so what's the count?
Yeah, so tell me what's the count? Had Jerry run a route and Montana throw it out at Water to make them sober when the back try to bounce. So I'm flipping through the channels as the bulls where I'm out. Jordan over 40 enemies, closed mouth. So I'm ESPN, they bury like a mouse. Scanning through the rivals, playoff idol. He'll make all enemies suicidal. Similar to Monster Funk, a quick bouncer. Scatting on the fast, all you hear is the announcer. Then competition, so the crowd scream louder. Then he realized Roger Craig is his founder. So he sits on the defender around her. As Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hooks a mountain. Magic with a pass, so the Lakers straight clowning. All I wanna know is homeboy, what's the count? And
all my life I've been a fighter. Greatest upset in history, know that the sports fighter. Put me in the Olympics and guaranteed I'm the torchlighter. Provider of all the lyrics that are blowing scorch fire. I'm in the locker room, getting my hands taped. Think it's speed of a cheetah, but strength of a man ape. I'm feeling bad what I'm about to do to this man face.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farron, a.k.a. WDC. Again, I want to thank you for tuning and listening in. Again, very important, conversations we have bringing to you here on Sports Collective TV from sports perspective, from music, hip hop, as you heard, from community outreach. This is all about the sports fan. So we're not concerned about those NBA players. We might talk about them, but this is really for you, the sports fans, for you to come in and listen. Call us 323-293-3375. Watch us live on MorrisMediaLive.com. Again, this is like, for me, a dream come true because I wanted to have a show kind of like me, just for the fans, just for those who like to watch the game. Some of us don't watch sports, like myself, until the playoffs even. So, you heard my story about how I got disconnected from sports, and this is how I stay connected. And hopefully, you enjoy this episode with us, and you'll tune in the future and, be a guest or call in and give us your perspective on these topics. So as you see, the deck is lit again with another set of our fanatics who
freaking frat.
Definitely, when we met them on the other show, the Sports Nows Live that we had, that episode's out there. These two gentlemen here, I was just in the room. Yeah, whatever. So they were on the show as guests, and I invited them to come back because they had so much to say about sports from their perspective, and it was like, man, you guys fit the show, and so.
I feel like I feel something you guys don't really talk on, like a different perspective, NBA, basketball. Like, I'm Louis Moreno. This is
so we're talking cricket and dominoes.
I'm talking about the most popular sport in the world.
Pele.
Football. With your foot that you play with your foot, and with a ball that's round. Sorry, with a ball that's round. So here in LA, now this weekend, I'm pretty sure if you guys watch SportsCenter, they had soccer on there at least every 15 minutes over the weekend with the new player that we got in the Galaxy, Zlatan. That guy.
How big is that?
How big? Okay, so this is a man who compared himself, who compares himself not to players because they feel they are beneath him. He said his quote is, "Lions don't compare themselves to humans, so why should I compare myself to other players?"
Ouch.
This is a guy who gets up and they ask him, "What did you get your wife for her birthday?" And he replies, "Nothing. She already has Zlatan." So. You can look it up.
Something he was saying.
Endless quotes by this man. This guy is as cocky as they come. And that wonder goal that everybody sees, and they were talking about it, like it's genius. It's a stroke of genius and like an art. Mm-hmm. They asked him, "How did you think of that?" He said, "Well, this is my first game back from a serious knee injury. I was tired and I didn't want to run, so I just shot the ball."
He shot it.
He just shot the ball, and it curves, and it looks like the man thought it out. He was just tired. He didn't want to make the 35-yard run.
So he kicked it.
He kicked it and
goal.
Look it up. You just look up Zlatan goal, and the guy played 20 minutes. And they were down 4-3 in
3-1.
3-1, and they were down 3-1 I'm sorry.
This book bed, you got book bed, so bunk bed.
Got your back.
So when I slip up, he's right there. Catch me, so.
I'll catch you.
3-1. The guy comes in 20 minutes, and he turns it around. And this is the big thing because we now have this news, and they were going against the new LAFC team, which I don't know you guys know. They're that new shiny new stadium they're building right next to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
It's going to be opening up at the end of this month, first game. And this team, they revamped. We had another soccer team before here, Chivas USA.
Oh yeah, the Chivas.
It went away. They repackaged it, black and gold, new name, fresh players, and they were tearing it up.
Wow.
So the Galaxy pretty much had to come out and say, this is our city. So Zlatan on Friday took out a full-page ad in the LA Times. Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome. And he signed it. Full-page ad. That was it.
He's he's the phenom, like a Kobe.
Oh yeah.
In soccer, because he's beyond the sport.
Everywhere he's gone, he's scored on his debut. Every team, from the first pro team he played on to nothing but great teams. He's played at Manchester, PSG. He played at Barcelona.
Yeah.
He's played on every top league, and now he comes to LA and he says, "You're welcome, LA," and then he does that in 20 minutes. I mean, that's Zlatan.
That's his opening act.
This is his city. It's his city.
So tell the people how they can reach you and who you are.
Okay, so
what
yeah,
you do. How did you get that color in your hair?
I bleached the hair first. Well, this is my hair. First of all, it's like silky soft, like a Chinaman's hair.
Chinaman's.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
Fine, right?
You already said it.
Multiple, not
like
one.
silky.
You got to get multiple.
This happened after I used to work at retail. So I've always worked retail, and one day I was Father's Day 3 years ago. I was assaulted at gunpoint, and like the PTSD from that, I wasn't able to go back to work. And I've always, I love wrestling. That's another thing about I love pro wrestling. So I know it's fake.
Are we talking? Oh, WWE.
Yeah, but I actually watch. I'm more into like the stuff from Japan because it's really bloody and like they actually they go hard. But when I was young, one of the wrestlers had long hair and he had colorful hair and he would like jump off of ladders through tables and stuff like that. So like I always remember like I'd want to jump off of ladders. Of course I didn't, but like you want to because it looks So once I did it, I had no reason that like work stopping me from growing my hair long. Then I dyed it.
So you just dye different colors.
Yeah.
What's your social media?
Lewis_723 on Instagram. Yeah.
Again, where can you get this kind of commentary from a person who loves this? His perspective of soccer or football.
Football, yeah. Football.
So if you're a soccer fan, we got that commentary for you here. You can form your opinions or comments and hit him up, and he'll definitely be on the show for sure. So next to him, man, this guy right here, though.
His younger brother. My name's Oscar, a.k.a.
Did you sleep at the bottom bed or the top bed?
I was catching him.
Okay.
How am I going to catch him?
Who got peed on? That's one of those.
Neither.
Brothers.
Again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to get this all season. Y'all be ready for that.
I'm just here.
That's all good.
I'm just here.
I'm just here.
Let him finish, man. Let him finish.
I couldn't even get through my name, right? All right, it's all good.
Let him finish.
It's going to be a good season.
Love y'all, though.
Oscar,
all right, so really quick, just so y'all know who I am, Oscar, a.k.a. O, bringing you more than the X's and O's. You already know, bringing it from Sports Lounge Live, keeping it the same.
No, not Sports Lounge Live.
I better stop saying Sports Lounge Live.
I'm saying bringing it from.
Hey,
from the streets.
First of all, we built that. We built that.
That's
so
true,
that is a part.
I thought we weren't speaking on that anymore.
No, actually. Just so to clear that up.
Do we need to censor that name out?
No. Just to clear that up, we're going to have a segment called Sports Lounge. A segment will be called Sports Lounge because we branded that. You can look up those episodes.
Yeah, 2 years.
Ilya, my man Robert, who's coming up next. These two gentlemen. That's
and a
that's our
slew
content.
Of other folks in our past.
So that's our content. So Sports Lounge will be a segment. A part of this show, Sports Collective TV. That's a part of the collection.
Oh, cool.
So,
nice.
Now let him finish.
I ain't said nothing.
Questions and comments after.
Yeah, please.
All right. Pistol in the car.
Sign it and say thank you.
Hey, we in Crenshaw now.
He for real. He says that like it's a joke.
We in my neck of the woods now because I live down the street.
That's right.
So yes, we moved.
Alums.
We went from Westchester. Now we in Lamert Park, Crenshaw District. So like I was saying, we both went to Crenshaw High, graduated from there. So this is definitely like in our backyard.
Yeah.
So
we see Nipsey every now and then, driving down the street.
Yeah.
I know what Deegan is, so just don't trip. Let's go.
Okay. So all right. So my perspective is going to focus a lot on really the value of sports, how it's changed, and how people look at it differently. So, for instance, I've worked with MMA fighters that have come into schools and teach self-defense. Mm-hmm. So utilizing the same kind of skills and really in different spaces for different reasons. We're also going to get into the philosophy of sports and how it means different things and how it's used differently as well. Also, and lastly, the movement of sports. There's a lot of this thing right now with activism, but people forget that sports has been part of activism throughout history. So definitely get into that as well.
I appreciate both of you because you guys bring a part of this conversation, again, that I really care about, that I really can't speak to myself. And so the philosophy we talk about, even in my community of having sickle cell trait and these athletes wanting to play football and get out of their neighborhoods, but then they collapse or have complications exercising or, like you said, hurt themselves or break a leg or something, that there are other aspects of sports that we don't even really look at, that you could still be connected to sports, whether it's behind the scenes.
Right.
But we always think we got to be the one on the field catching the pass or shooting the three, and that's not necessarily the only way to be connected.
And that's what always gets the attention. And like you were saying earlier, you go to other sports shows, and you're going to get a lot of that attention from focusing on a lot of what these professionals are doing. But we're also bringing the perspective of the other big part of sports world that doesn't get a lot of time. Like you were saying with LABC, a lot of it's stories out there, people
These
that
are real lives.
Right, that keep going even though they didn't make that pinnacle that so many youth reach out for, but they're still out there doing the thing that connects them to being a kid. That's one of the things that I love sports the most, is that every time I go out there, play basketball, play soccer, any kind of sport, it takes me back when I was a little kid, 8-year-old, just doing it for the fun of it, just for the joy of it, Yeah. Now, and as we grow older, they add all these things up, and people forget that when we learned sports, it was as kids.
So we didn't ask the other cast members, but what are your favorite professional teams?
Well, I mean, my favorite team is the Lakers.
Okay.
Growing up, Kobe was huge. Young Kobe,
Everybody's a Laker fan around here.
Kobe.
Not all of us.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, we know people that are Clipper fans, but it's it's people that like Pepsi and there's people that like Coke. We all know the Lakers are Coke.
So you got Lakers.
Or if you want to play for the Clippers, you could just like the Clippers. So
Right.
Okay. Right.
So
Lamar?
you got whatever.
I got the Lakers, and I got
football,
the Raiders, baseball, the Diamondbacks. I hate the Dodgers with a passion. Probably, I don't know if I love the Diamondbacks.
Be
more,
ready
if I
for
hate
that
the
all
Dodgers
season.
More. It's one of those two.
Yeah, it's like a love hate.
It's all love for the Diamondbacks, all hate for the Dodgers.
Hate.
Yeah,
All right.
all hate for the Dodgers.
Right.
And in soccer, Real Madrid. So the biggest, the playoffs are happening right now in soccer.
Right.
Champions League. The World Cup is happening in June.
I was in shakies and I couldn't watch nothing on TV.
Good. I'm glad because I remember I used to be the one at Shakey's and have to request it and be like, dude, you're playing back a March Madness game that happened 2 days ago. And
it's live TVs,
live soccer going on
over
right
100
now.
Hispanics.
Right now,
I'm the only black.
Where the collective contract for all 22 players trumps any players that you can put on there.
Boom.
You got Lionel Messi getting paid $50 million a year. That's like Curry's making what, 30?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's a lot of enchiladas.
Mr.
And you're not
X's
talking about
and O's.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Mr. X's and O's. What's your NBA team, man?
All right, so really quick, Laker fan for sure.
Another one.
Dodgers,
Bunk beds.
Rams.
Oh, West Coast. We West Coast.
Right.
Okay.
Raiders are West Coast?
What's your shirt say?
And this is from an old, this was, I was talking earlier, we used to have, what is it called, self-defense classes at one of the schools I used to work at. And so these were some of the shirts we passed out.
Oh, yeah.
So your school was that violent, y'all needed self-defense classes. Okay.
You forget where you're at.
That's a tough neighborhood.
Well, it was mostly for women. Oh,
you went to an all-woman school?
No, it was just, we focused on self-defense for women.
These two right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is just
day one. This is day one. It's because we've been away for so long. We had all this emotion
You
built
gotta
up.
have one in the crowd
To
you
be
can
continued.
mess with.
Gentlemen, thank you for again accepting my invitation to be a part of this network and this show.
Thank you
man.
for that.
And I look forward to everything
opportunity.
that you bring to the Sports Collective TV, man. And again, I'm thankful and I appreciate you both.
Yeah,
All right.
you all good. Y'all got pretty hair. Yeah.
Thank you.
I get that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
He's not lying. We do.
All right, so we're going to take another break. Again, this is Sports Collective TV. This is just how it's going to go down, ladies and gentlemen.
my God.
It's all in love and
I'm trying to
fun.
retire.
Passing down the baton. I see that.
torch.
Yeah.
20-second
I'm ready.
timeout. We out of here. Sports Collective TV. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh, man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. Do you know the facts that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man.
There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org.
This takeover.
All right, welcome back.
Takeover. Come on.
Welcome back to Sports Collective TV. Again, I'm your host and moderator, Farron, aka WDC. Again, we want to thank you for tuning, listening in so far. Sports Collective TV is a new show we're bringing here. It used to be Sports Lounge Live. You can look us up for the previous episodes of that. Those shows, we branded that show since 2015, 16, and 17, and now we're transitioned to now a new show called Sports Collective TV. It's going to be pretty much not the same, but we've added, as you saw, more cast members, more people to help us make this conversation more alive and touch on aspects of conversations in sports that I can't really touch on, and Illya can't touch on.
Wait,
not all of them. And so these two people here are again very special to me because they bring another aspect to this conversation around sports, community, and what they care about. So. You might recognize that dude over there, but we're gonna leave him for second.
Here we go.
We interviewed Abigail. Abigail is a part of my Landmark community. She came on the Sports Lounge Live and did a show with us about her life and career in basketball and what she's up to today. And so we kind of got together and saw that she could help us bring another conversation. He was really pushing that too.
She was an expensive lunch too.
He was more.
She ate a sandwich that was this tall. I was like, oh yeah, she down.
Oh, she got lunch. She
smorgasbord. She's not.
Farron, she got lunch.
She got lunch. That was.
You know what? Whatever.
She got lunch.
All right, the deal. You got snacks.
Yeah, I did get snacks. So it's okay though.
Yeah, but you had a whole season.
I did.
I was just trying to get seasoned,
but I did that
with the sandwich.
It was dope
and
though.
The beer. But no, Abigail's the bomb.
Abigail, please introduce yourself to the listeners, and then we'll find out who you are and what you're up to.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting to be here. And just to give you a little bit of background, former student athlete, recovering perfectionist. I like to share that because, as an athlete, we just kind of grow up improving and trying to get better and always trying to make it to that next level. So former athlete, former gym teacher. So I bring a little bit of a different perspective as well because I love sports, but I love athletics and I love kids. I love Oscar. What he was bringing up in the conversation earlier is that it's not just sports and sports teams. It's athletics and how physical activity really improves life and keeps you going. And so, I have a lot of different perspective from there. And then now life coach, author, public speaker, and sharing life after sports.
Yeah. So your segment is going to be called
Coach Off the Court. So I want to talk to people about in sports and in athletics, leadership and accountability looks a very specific way. Oftentimes as athletes we're told where to be, when to be there, how to be there, what time, and that doesn't necessarily occur in real life at work or if you go on in school and you're not in athletics. It starts to look a little bit different, and a lot of times we go through that shock and awe phase what's going on with life and how does this work? And so I talk to athletes a lot about what your accountability is going to look like, what your leadership can look like, and how to transition that powerfully instead of go through that identity crisis. Because I think we all have some flavor of it.
Definitely.
We were sharing that before is like sometimes when we're injured, oftentimes that's where the identity crisis can occur. But sometimes just simply being done with sports.
Yeah.
When you go from middle school and you don't make the high school team, or you're done after high school and you don't make it to college, and so on and so forth, what that looks like.
That is an interesting dynamic because we hear it and we see it. We see it even in pro sports. And you could probably contest to this, is that there's really not a lot of players that revamp after a major injury. They're never the same player.
No.
You know, you could look at, Wall, George. You could look at all these guys that were phenomenal players when they come out. And it is something, and actually being an athlete and being injured, the psyche does take over, with the physical. So a lot of times so it'd be good to kind of get those stories and get people to kind of start talking about some of those evils and those demons that's chasing them.
And like I was sharing with her earlier, it's like, even me being in the military for 24 years, my depression really came from the identity crisis, because when I said that my life was over from the medical retirement, that was my life. That's all I knew. And so that transition, I was done. I was ready to pull the trigger, jump off the freeway, and be done with it, and not knowing that there was life after military. So we talked,
I just talked to not mentioning any names, but I talked to a youth, not most currently, who basically, because of an opportunity that they missed in basketball, and then life wasn't moving the way they thought it was going to be. Because we have this perception that, okay, high school, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to be the shit in college, and then something happens, and it's like, how do you transcend into other opportunities? And I think that's the whole life part that everybody needs to hear.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And I know, Robert, you definitely got a story that can relate to that. So it's like, what do you hear before we
LAUSD?
Man, I mean, first and foremost, you know who it is. It's your boy Robert Lamar. AKA Sports Voice. What's happening?
Welcome back.
But yeah, man. I know how it is to blow talent. I've been there, and it's not fun. It's not fun, but it's crazy how life has its funny way of working out to the point where everything comes full circle, and now my life evolves around making sure that these teenagers don't miss out on the opportunity of getting a free education. So
I just want to say something to you. Your social media following is off the chain. He be in the end zone with an iPhone, filming it. I mean, he catching the touchdown. I pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
That's why I wore my Baskin Robbins shirt today. But no, I just want to give you kudos on that. I can't like everything all the time, but because I don't want to over-like it. Is this fool just like it? But I'd be like,
one of those.
Yeah, one of them. Like, I'm not stalking you, Rob, but some of those videos.
I appreciate
it. Really the action video where they catch, because this is stuff you see like on Grogan's. Fred Grogan has some of that. And that's kind of where I identify that.
We was at Locke High School together, and we in the end zone, back in the end zone, and I'm like, how does this guy know to turn the phone on? And here's it's like touchdown end zone. It's like, I'm over here like, oh, shoot, should I do it? Should I do it? I'm like,
it's a lot of trial by error, first and foremost. From what you guys have seen, I've missed that much as well.
Yeah.
So, but I've been able to, for one, it all is about getting a better phone. I was dealing with that bootleg phone with no reception, trying to use your hotspot. But that's over. And I tell you, man, from the moment that I just switched over and got a regular phone, I mean, a better free phone, because, I was on a budget. And whatnot.
Obama phones don't give
Obama phones don't give you no run. I was on that Obama phone, man. But, I mean, I got it right before playoffs, and booyah. I mean, you see the content for the playoffs and state championship,
definitely.
Man. So, yeah.
So let's not skip over your background, man, because you're a very special guy, man. Tell them about your background and where you came from, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, shoot, Robert Lamar. From the east side of Pacoima, man, Hassan Hills.
Pacoima.
Hey, we rep it hard. Hey, the reigning MVP from the MLB, Mike Stanton. That's what we know him as. Y'all might know him as John Carlos Stanton, east side Pacoima. We'll see who else. Paul George, east side Pacoima. We'll see Brandon Browner, east side Pacoima. I need to stop. Okay, you get the point. Anywho, you get the point. You get the point. basketball was my first love.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like Mike, like everybody else, and I thought I was going to be 6'4", and I turned out to be 5'9.5" on a great day, 5'10" with shoes. And I went to a high school in the suburbs, which I didn't want to go to. I love my mom, but she made me go there. Mm-hmm. And my track coach says, I need a running back. And I said, I'm not going to play no football. In my 10th grade year, my very first practice I went to, he told me to run the ball, and I scored a touchdown on my first practice. And I said, okay, I got something here. I was only 10th grader on varsity for the city championship team. My quarterback was Matt Castle. We won city in 98.
Boom.
And, and booyah, didn't take care of my grades. Didn't take care of my grades. Went to JUCO, won a state title at Moore Park. And then here comes the Vegas.
What happened?
Here comes the Vegas.
The girls in the booty and
that's what happened.
Woo, really?
And
what happened?
It happened. Baby. I mean, you know how it is, man. As a student athlete, for football player, star as well. But it's one of those things where it's crazy when you're in that moment and how much you hate yourself because you squandered those moments. And the thing that I always appreciate about myself was I never gave up on what I wanted to do, even though it didn't happen in the time I wanted it to happen. But, I mean, that's how I met you. Yeah. I met you at school. And I never forget when you pulled me to the side and said, I have a show, and if you like it, you can continue to do it. If not, cool. Yeah. And from that moment, that's why I met Cali Sportsman. Yeah. And I tell you, man, it was so funny because I got the rookie treatment big time from him. And it was one of those things where he was really testing me. Yeah. And, it's kind of one of those things where I'm trying to do content, and he hitting me like, your shirt wrinkled. What, you got a wrinkled shirt? You got dots? You got bleach on your shirt? Just like, oh, okay. Whatever. I'm ignoring him. Right. And then you get used to him, and you're like, you know what? Shut up, hairline. And then there you go. We got a show. Right. So, he taught you taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. He taught me how to really loosen up behind the mic. And I tell you, I appreciate Illya, Cali Sportsman. I appreciate you. And now it's Scholarly Me. Yeah. And Scholarly Me is life. Yeah. Just like Tupac said, if you believe in Scholarly Me, if you believe in God, you believe in Scholarly Me.
Hey, that program, if you are a student athlete or you have a family member that's a student athlete and you've got video and you got coverage and you've got essay grades.
You better send it to me.
You can put all that on the Scholarly Me app, and actually they're NCAA approved, and they can get scouted out through the Scholarly Me.
And let me tell you one more thing about Scholarly Me.
We're trying to bring y'all back. So
let me tell you one more thing about Scholarly Me. We made the top 10 this year.
That's right. I saw that.
We're number 6 in the country.
Number 6.
We were never ranked, and now we're number 6.
Thank you.
And we are coming.
What is it? NSBC is the
NCSA.
NSSA is the
they're number 1, and they're charging $35,000 to $5,000 to help your kid do something that you could do for yourself for free.
And that's why we have a program that's called the True Elite Performance, which is basically college preparation program. So it's a lot of plethora up here of information and ways that we want to be able to help the community.
Absolutely.
So, True Elite Performance is still alive, and we could definitely get your kid to college. And we want Scholarly Me back. We need you here, Chocolate Thunder.
I'm telling you, man. I'm happy to be back. Yeah.
So again, this is Sports Collective TV. This is the cast right here. This is what you're going to see. Everybody's not going to be here every week, but they've got a segment that's going to be important to the conversation that we're bringing to you right here on Sports Collective TV. We're going to take one last break. We got the top 5 conversation brought to you by Fredo. So we're going to rearrange the deck, and then we're going to wrap up the show with some highlights real quick. What you got to say?
I'm
always ready.
You're always ready, right? We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Sports Collective TV.
In our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org.
into LeBron's MVP.
We're back.
We are back here on Sports Collective TV with myself, Fredo Cervantes. And first of all, before we introduce the top 5 right now, I just want to say thank you to everybody in here today for on Cali Sportsman, Abigail, Luis, Big Al, and the people up here, man. We're going to have a great show for you guys every Monday night. So let's go ahead and lead into our top 5. We do have MLB weekend, opening day, man, after so many amazing months that we had to wait to get baseball back. Baseball is back. I know we got a Dodger fan. We got a Dodger fan here as well. And we got
a Diamondback fan.
Oh, my God.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
We got an Arizona Diamondback fan. We got two.
We got two.
Two in the building. But, okay, so we know who to leave last after this one. But let's go ahead and start off here. Oscar, talk to us a little bit about what you saw the first weekend here for baseball.
Well, I just saw the NL West get stronger this year. We had 3 playoff teams last year, and then San Francisco reloaded and San Diego reloaded. I went to the game, and I saw some players. I was like, wait, San Francisco got Evan Longoria, and then they got McCutchen. I was like, whoa, they came back this year, trying to do some things. Rockies are still the same, all right. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. You cut yourself off the show. Okay. Well, first and foremost, opening week.
Yes.
So you can never kind of really have a true indication on what we're going to see. I mean, the closer we get to All-Star break is what we're going to really know about these teams. Obviously, the Dodgers are shorthanded. Mr. Turner's not in.
Yes.
The Giants got lucky. Simple as that, but it is what it is. Like you said, the NL West has got stronger. My sleeper team is still out of the East. I mean, out of AL is New York. And to be honest with you, at the West, it's kind of wide open.
Hold up. Your sleeper team's the Yankees?
Yeah, well, with the payroll, I know, right?
No, I'm saying they did just make the biggest moves.
Yeah, they got that boy from Pacoima, so watch out.
Pacoima in the house, people. Go ahead. What did you get a chance to see this weekend?
I really didn't get to catch up that much because it's the opening day. And,
of course, yeah.
But I think MLB is going to have a good season this year, though.
No, it is going to have an amazing year, and as well, you're talking about the Diamondbacks as well. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks are probably an hour away from facing off for the first time this year. The Dodgers are visiting Arizona today for the whole stretch for the next 3 days. Who is your sleeper for this year right here? Because he said the Yankees are his little sleeper talk here. What is yours?
I'm going to go just like he says. The Yankees are sleeper.
But I mean, talking about the Yankees last year, facing off last year when they faced off against the Houston Astros, we had they went to Game 7 with the Astros, so let's not forget about that. Yeah. I mean, the Yankees were still pretty good with now adding his Pacoima homie to the floor. I mean, it's going to be an interesting year. But let's go ahead and touch on basketball.
So let's finish it up. Who you got tonight?
Oh, tonight? Oh, is it? Come on, Dodgers?
No, we're talking Final Four.
Oh, Final Four
for the championship. Who you got tonight?
I got Michigan today.
You got Michigan?
Yeah, I got Michigan. Nova, really?
I got Nova. Who you got?
Villanova.
Oh, yeah. Wow, so I'm the only Michigan out here. Sorry, Josh Hart from the Lakers. He's a Josh Hart guy. But let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. We didn't get a chance to get to you guys for the top 5 this week, but of course, it was just an introduction for everybody today, for you guys to get a chance to know everybody. But stay tuned next Monday. We're gonna go ahead and give it to you guys Monday at 5 o'clock every Monday. Don't forget, we also have a number. Call us in at 323-293-3375 every Monday at 5 o'clock here. Follow us on Sports Collective TV. And as well, Morris Media Studios. Thank you guys very much for allowing us to bring all of our talents into one show here. And we'll tune in and see you guys next Monday. Don't forget, 8 p.m. tonight, Sports Collective Radio, Final Four. Let's do this. Let's shout it out. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.